What's your status on the apparatus Puncho with Cancel Kings? And today we're going to be looking at this wild clip from Claudia Jordan. She's lived the better part of her life as an independent woman and looking at equality as being a staple of her life, being like the man that she wants to be. But at the same time, she's not getting the results that she wants later in age. I think she's 52 now, going to be 53. No more wasting time. Let's jump right into the video.
A very positive attitude. I would have been a little bitter, like, why the fuck? Why not me? Why not? I don't want to be irresponsible. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of the cake. Somebody save me. I want to be Julia Roberts on Hollywood Boulevard in cheap shoes when some guy comes and save me. I have worked hard since I was 14 and I had to pay. I'm sick of it, Erica.
I do understand.
It's a thankless
I understand
job
what you're
being
saying.
classy and independent. It's thankless. I've been dating since the 1900s and 80 something, and I'm still single. I'm tired, Erica. You found your man. Don't hate. Let me live this. Let me vent. You're off the strip. I am still on it. I'm in the trenches, and it sucks. I'm sick of being independent. I hate paying for my Range Rover, my other car, my mortgage insurance, my freaking cell phone, computer, Wi-Fi. I am sick of it. I need some guy with bad health to jump on in and interrupt and say, let me take you off your shift. You've been working hard enough. So that's cute what she's doing. I'm not doing that. We are different. I'm tired. I've proven myself, and it only impresses other women. She's like, oh, that's amazing. My friends are independent. These men don't care. Come and save me, some chic, minus the dookie. Just please come and save me. I'm tired. I'm tired, Erica. I don't want to do it no more.
It's like she makes a very interesting point, a number of interesting points, and she's kind of a bit of a bellwether for some of the issues and problems that we've been having in our culture for quite a while, especially Western culture, and how feminism's impacted that. One thing that's frustrating is, as men, especially men of God, we've been hearing for so long, her being a Gen Xer, a lot of folks much younger, but we've been hearing so long that men and women should be treated the exact same. Men and women are even interchangeable. In her particular situation, she's kind of become, like I said before, the man that she wants. And she figures that the reward should be like a man, that she should get what she wants in the end. But the ironic thing about it is she has a much different burden of responsibility. Men have a masculine burden of performance that we have to achieve. And that brings us to our first topic here of 3. Men don't grind 30 years to be kept. It's very strange for people, especially for the younger generation, when they see Black Widow, beating up men on TV, and we're being told that women are interchangeable with men and the role of men is almost redundant and reductive. But at the same time, we see women being women when it comes to working. No man will say that, hey, I've been in the workforce for 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years. I just can't wait for a woman to come in and pay my bills. This is where the independent woman and the feminist ideas and the equality lie kind of shows its face for what it truly is. Men and women are different, and men are not accepted, nor are they expected to think like this. So that's kind of the crux of it. It goes on even further here. Real quickly, let's take a look at 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8, where it says, but if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. So if you're a guy in the Christian community and you're not grinding and taking care of your family, you're worse than an unbeliever. You're worse than a pagan. But think about that from a woman's perspective. Women don't have that same burden of performance. And that's where we differ. And that's why this system has not worked, because we're telling women that they can be like men. But then when it comes down to a woman's prerogative and a woman's burden of performance, they don't always have the same energy and the level of interest in those things that men are expected to do. And it falls apart. Brings us to our second point. Independent until the bill hits. You see Claudia over here, she's being very articulate about how she is fed up. I think she has an entertainment value to what she's saying, but I also believe that she is dead serious about being super tired and exhausted from what she's going through. What does that mean? Again, she is kind of like the canary in the coal mine for what we're seeing in a generation of women that are really fed up with having to work their entire lives like what? Work their entire lives like men. They were told that they can be like men, but when it comes to carrying those burdens, to carrying the idea of being a provider, protector, problem solver, prophets and priests, the interest just does not last. And that's why men are so valuable, because we don't really get a chance to take that off until we're dead in many cases. Even the Bible shames us for not being providers and taking care of our own. So we have to really, not only as men, realize that we have a role in all this, and that a lot of our women have been lied to, and a lot of the men have been lied to about the true merits of feminism. But we have to gain and take back this role that we know that women in their heart of hearts, in most cases, not all, but in most cases, they are not interested in fulfilling. So that creates a tremendous opportunity for you as men to step up in your purpose and be the men that you need to be, despite what the media is telling you, despite what your college professor is telling you, or social media. Men, you are valued. These roles aren't something that most women are interested in carrying. But as men, it gives us purpose. You should feel proud to be able to provide for your family and do things for your wife. Brings us to our third point. Want a provider, bring peace and partnership. You, as a woman, you can't really have an expectation that you're going to become the man that you want, live like a man, think like a man, have sex like a man. But at the same time, expect to get a man's results the way a man should. Men aren't typically interested in this. And that may be part of the unfortunate reasons why Claudia is still single. I don't think she even has any children. And the frustration, masked by a little bit of jokey joke here and there, is evident. She really realizes that she may have missed the bus here. And she's just not a single voice, but she is the voice of millions of women, not only in America, but in many Western countries, where they've been told that if they go to school, they be great colleagues, if they be great workers at their job, that at the end of the rainbow, they're going to find a man. But most men, not all, but most men are just not interested in that being the definition of femininity. Men are looking for something completely different. But women have been told that if they be and live and experience life as a man is, they're going to get the same reward as a man who's diligent, who works hard, who has a mindset to provide and to seek those things that are more of a masculine attribute. Unfortunately, the lie did not tell them that most men aren't interested in that. Right? We see it all the time here. Men are expected to be providers, protectors, problem solvers, prophets, and priests. Contrarily, women should want to be sweet, SWEET, submissive, focused on wealth and nutrition, effeminate, hold men in high esteem, and temples of the Holy Spirit. Two different expectations from both God and man. So we have to not only get men back on track, but we have to make sure that the men know what a good woman looks like. I'm not saying Claudia doesn't necessarily match that sweet acronym. There may be still chance for her to do that. It may be too late. It's hard to say. But as men, we need to be able to pick the kind of women who are going to be best for us, that are going to help us fulfill our purpose. She spent all this time. Think about this. And I had to realize this too, guys. When I was younger, I couldn't wait to get into this metropolitan area that I live at and meet some of these fantastic career-minded women. And then I was so surprised to realize, growing up as a kind of a feminist, they're not interested in paying bills equally. They're not interested in providing and all those things. Most women are not interested in doing any of that stuff, and they lose a lot of interest also in work. And the responsibility falls on men. In most cases, not all, no matter how independent and feminist she is, they still have an expectation whether you as a man are going to do those manly things. So the fact of the matter is also that most men and women work in a relationship and they share assets. So it's even gotten beyond that, where she's probably close to a millionaire, maybe around that range, but she still has a heavy expectation that a man's going to pay for her lifestyle. These things have to be done together. Think very carefully, men, when you're partnering with women who only see you as a cash cow. She didn't mention anything about that man being able to be a good father. She didn't mention anything about his attributes and how he obeys and is disciplined by the word of God. Think about that. She just talked about how he's going to take a financial burden off of her. I don't care what the world says, gentlemen, but you are worth much more than that. You were fearfully and you were wonderfully made. God has a purpose for you, and he has a plan for your life. Your purpose isn't to be a cash cow for some woman who doesn't even know what her role is in this world. And you need to remember that. I'm talking too much here. I really appreciate you guys coming out. Leave your comments down below. I may have missed a lot of things. So that being said, feel free to leave some comments. We'll try to address those. But at the end of the day, remember, you guys have purpose. Like, share, and subscribe. A lot of folks are not talking about this kind of stuff. And we will see you later.